All right, hello everybody in Round Rock ISD and beyond. It's the Professional Development and Transportation Departments getting together today for a quick tutorial video on a couple tools that they're introducing this year to help streamline some processes to make sure that buses are ordered for field trips. And they're going to share a link to a video as well to make our transition to a few things as smooth as possible this year. If you're watching live and you want to ask any questions, there is a Q&A button if you're watching on the Google Plus event page that you can enter your questions right there, and we'll make sure they get answered while we're recording. You can also Google chat me any questions to Ryan Smith, and I'll make sure that our guests today answer those questions. And then this video will be recorded as well and placed on the Professional Development and the Transportation website, so you'll be able to access it at a later time. But I'm going to turn it over to our experts today. It's Mr. John Kipple and Mr. Michael Shue from our Transportation Department. They're going to be sharing a few things with you, and so I'm going to go ahead and give them a chance to introduce themselves and turn it over to them. So go ahead, guys.
Good morning, everyone. We decided to go from TOMS to TransFinder for this year, and basically what that means is that we have changed over to this new software program. For y'all that have been in the district for more than 18 months, you might be familiar with TransFinder. So it will be pretty easy for y'all to catch on. For the new ones, it's very simple. We're going to go through a real quick how to input a field trip. And if you have any questions after this, don't hesitate to ask us online. And also, you can call us in the dispatch area at extension 2450. Full number is 512-428-2450. And we can get some of those questions answered if you still are having problems. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually go to the first screen. And the way you get to this is you're going to actually go to the website and type in transportation1/infofinderle login.aspx. Now, like I said, this will all be on the website. It's very self-explanatory. If you do not have a user ID, which we have encountered this very first couple of weeks, you can give us a call at 2450 and we will make sure that you get your password reinstated or actually added to TransFinder. So the first thing that you would do is you would log in with your user ID, which mine is a little bit different than y'all's, and you would log in. And right now it's asking for to select a database. If that occurs, just make sure that when you are there that you use RRISD active, and that will get you to the proper one. We do have, and if you were to use a different database, basically what would happen is you would put all this field trip information out there, and we would never see it. So this is the reason why we want to make sure that y'all are in Round Rock ISD. The next screen is just a message screen. It's telling us different things that are going on in the transportation area for field trips. You would move up to field trips, and you would click on that, and this would be a new field trip. So then we would go in and actually click on that. If you happen to want to look at a field trip that you've already put in, you can go down to request status and see the field trips that you've actually put in. But for now, to put in a new field trip, you click on the new field trip, and you're going to come up with a screen. This is the screen that's going to give you all the information that you need to actually fill in. Please make sure that you fill in the required field trip screen or sections, and they are done with an asterisk. For this year, we've tried to do some new things. We're still in the process of working on it, but I did want to show you this. If you go to this screen right here and click on template, it's going to come up with many different schools, all the schools in Round Rock ISD, and we have actually inputted some of the field trips that were the most popular for all of the elementary schools, high schools, and middle schools. But as you can see, we have gone through and tried to put in as many as we possibly can. We're still not finished with this, but as we go on throughout the school year, you'll be able to see that. Now then, if for instance, if we let's just do Bluebonnet Elementary School. If, for instance, they are going to the Texas Memorial Museum, if you notice, there's one there that says Texas Memorial Museum. Hold on. Okay, so we're going to go to the Thinkery instead. A little bit easier for me here because it came up. So it actually goes out there and fills in as much information as we have so far. Now then, as you notice, it put in there Bluebonnet Elementary School to the Thinkery, tells us the school that it's on, and you'll have to fill out certain things still on there. Like, for instance, the department. Well, right now, the only thing that you would need for this one would be just field trips. So you would click on that. Make sure that's working. And then you will continue on. But as you can see, the screen will tell you exactly what you need to go through. There's a portion there that says contact. Please make sure that you put a contact and, if possible, a phone number with an extension, so that if there's anything that the field trip is out of the ordinary, we can give you a call. Also, it's nice for the bus driver that is doing the field trip that has your contact number and name, so that way, if they need to contact you, they can also. It tells you the departure date. These are all required: departure time, return date, and return time. The departure is already in there because it's Bluebonnet Elementary. And of course, I said the Thinkery, and it's telling us that it's going to the Capitol. So there is a little glitch there that we're going to have to fix. But basically, what we're trying to do is we're trying to give you all the information that you need to fill out. This is also one of the things that I did want to say about the departures. If you actually have a blackout date, in other words, a date that we have blacked out because of UIL competition or competitions or anything like that, it will come back and tell you that you cannot put in a date. If this is to happen, you can actually put in a date that's further in advance and then shoot an email to me, John Kipple, which would be John_at Round Rock ISD, or Kelly Hubbard Hobbs, or on the east side, Paula or Sheila. And basically what that will do is just send us an email telling us that what is the actual date that you want to go out on this field trip, and then we will try to accommodate. Now then, if it's a blackout date from UIL, please try to refrain from using those dates, because we are using a lot of resources for UIL competitions and things like that. So we do try to limit the field trips for those dates. As we keep on going down, as you notice, it was supposed to actually populate the Thinkery, but I'm not real sure as to what happened there, but we'll figure that one out real quick. But if you notice, it's saying right now the Texas State Capitol, which it gives the address. It also has a phone number to that place. There's several trip details now that as you go down the sheet, equipment is if you have anything that needs special to add to it, that's where you would put that. This is if most of y'all already know whether or not y'all are going to be dealing with the east side or the west side. So please make sure that you put either east or west, who you normally would deal with. For this purpose, I'm going to put in west transportation. Give us as accurate as possible the number of students that you're going to have, because that also determines the amount of buses, how many buses we're going to send for it. So in this case, I put 45. Number of wheelchairs, very important. Do you need a special needs bus that has a wheelchair lift? Please make sure you let us know that. Also, number of adults, put that in there because that also gives us an idea of how many adults you actually are going to have on there, and that does go towards the count of the bus. And then number of vehicles. If for instance, you have kindergartners, you can figure out that there's 3 to a seat for kindergartners, and we will be able to transport 72 of these kindergartners. Now then, so that would be one bus. But if you have, bigger kids, they're probably going to have to make sure that they are 2 to a seat only. And so the most that you can probably put on a big bus is 52. So please keep that in mind. And if you can tell us how many vehicles you need, go ahead and put the number of vehicles. In this case, it would be one vehicle for 45 students and 2 adults.
Sounds good. Hey, John, we did have a couple questions.
Sure.
One back a little farther up about the contact. Do you guys prefer to have, because I know sometimes maybe the person who's entering the information might be a campus secretary or somebody that's not actually the person
Correct.
on the field trip. Should that contact be like the club sponsor, or who do you want that contact to be?
It's really up to the user itself. I mean, if you want to have the administrator that actually puts in the field trips as the contact, that's fine. If you would prefer to have the actual sponsor of the trip, then either one of them is fine. It's just easier for us if we know that there is a name and a phone number, so that if we need to contact, we'll contact whoever you want us to contact.
Sounds good. I just want to remind everybody watching too, so we've had quite a few jump on here in the last minute or so. Go ahead if you have any questions. As long as we're on here live, you can post them using that Q&A app that you see on the screen, or go ahead and I'm monitoring email, monitoring my instant messaging too, so you can send a message to Ryan Smith, and we'll make sure you get your question answered. So go ahead, guys. Get back to you.
Okay. One thing that I did fail to mention that I just want to go back up here on this template here. If your school like that, right now I have Bluebonnet Elementary, and I have put in approximately 15 different places that normally you would go to. If it's not on there, there is another template that you would put in, that you would actually input. And let me get to that. And it's this one right here. It says Other. And when you click on Other, what's going to happen there is, and I'm going back into this, but what's going to happen there is you're going to actually have to fill in more entries, like, for instance, where you're going. So you're going to have to select a destination. You're going to have to select several things like that. It's just that way it will import your school name and the things like that, but it will not tell you where it's going. Like I said before, if you can use the template, then let's go ahead and use that, because it'll make your life a lot easier. Now then, the other thing is the school acronyms. I hope that we have gotten every one of them that are correct. But if your school acronyms under the templates, are not up there. For instance, this is Bluebonnet Elementary School. If it's not up there, let us know if it's incorrect or it's not out there, and then we will make sure that we get it on there. So anyway, let me go back down to the very bottom. And one of the things that the template, if you're going to places that we've already got in, is going to put in an estimated miles. And eventually, once we do this, it's going to actually go out there and calculate how much it's going to cost you for, say, going to the state capitol and back. It's going to calculate, we're going to have it so that it calculates the mileage. Now, obviously, we can't do that for the bus driver itself if you have a bus driver, because they actually get $25 an hour, and it basically will, what it'll do is we have to calculate the time in there, so we don't know exactly how much time you're going to have allotted for that field trip. But we can calculate the mileage for you, and this is something that throughout the year we're going to be adding into these templates. Now, if you have a coach that actually drives, or someone at your school that has a CDL license that is going to be driving, then you can actually figure it out, the mileage, and that's going to be what your trip cost is going to be. But if you use a bus driver, obviously it's going to be $25 an hour. Continuing on with the templates, at the very end, there we go. Okay, please make sure you put your budget codes in. The code is extremely important. Now, y'all should already have the budget codes now for your schools ready to go. The main important thing is to select that budget code. Once you're done with that, you hit save, and the field trip inputting is complete, and then we take over. And what we'll do is once we get the field trips, we'll either approve them or cancel them based upon any criteria that we need to look at. One of the criteria is, like I said, was the blackout dates. Sometimes schools want to put in, hey, I want to go someplace at 8:30, and I want them to pick it up at 8:30. We have tried in the past to accommodate, but it is just impossible for us, because we have to actually go in and have a bus driver that's on a route to do that field trip and cannot finish up their high school field trip or their high school regular runs. So our policy is that we will not leave, or we will not arrive until 9:15 to your school site, and we need to be back by no later than 1:45, so that way we can get our buses back out to the different schools for their regular student pickups. Okay, so basically
we got a couple other questions that came in before we move on to the next one. So what is the cost per mile?
The cost on a bus is $1.60 a mile. If you happen to have to take, and there are some teachers that actually take field trips to conferences and things like that. We have Suburbans that we can accommodate you for. Those are 50 cents a mile.
Okay, and one other question we had is, Pam, you posted that you missed the link. I'm not sure which link you mean, if the video or overall, but I just sent you a message, or send me an email. We'll get all the links put together in a document too once we're done with this. And then another question just came in was, is there a way to input 2 locations on one field trip? For example, first grade is going to the Thinkery and then the park after to eat lunch.
Okay, in that case, what we want you to do is go ahead and use other. And the reason being is because these templates, obviously, when we put these templates in, we're actually putting the mileage in that is from the school to that one site. So if you are going to go to multiple places, like let's say you're going to go to lunch afterwards, then what you probably need to do is go ahead and use the other template. And then what you're going to do is it's going to come up and it's going to ask for one destination. And so select the main destination, basically, let's say the Thinkery. And then you're going to go to a park afterwards and you're going to have lunch. So what you need to do is then in the notes, you need to go ahead and put in that after they tour the Thinkery, then they're going to go to whatever park and have lunch there before they go back to the school. So that way, then we can plan it accordingly. But there is not going to be a template there that's going to have both the Thinkery and the park to go to lunch. Okay, any other questions that you might have for this?
Sorry guys, I stood off for a second. Nobody's posted any more questions, and we don't have. I don't have any right now.
Oh, Mike Shue has asked me. There's a question that might come up: is how do we know that this field trip got approved through transportation? We do want you to verify with us that yes, that this trip has indeed is going to be going. So if you would, you can call us and verify it. I would say a couple of days before you actually go to the go on the school trip, and then that way we're not surprised by anything, and you're not surprised by anything. So yeah, you can give us a call at the dispatch area, and then we can actually go in and do this and verify for you that yes, the field trip is going. Okay, and I do want to say that this is going to make it a lot easier for the administrators. But if y'all do indeed have questions, don't hesitate to call us. We can pretty much answer most of the questions right there. Or if you'd like, you can send an email at transportation west, or I'm sorry, transportation_west at Round Rock ISD, or transportation east_east at Round Rock ISD, and we'll answer those questions as quickly as we possibly can.
All right, gentlemen. Well, anything else field trip related that we need to share with our watchers today?
No, I do want to say that last year we had over 6,000 field trips, and we did try to get every one of them out, but we do intend to do better this year on our field trips. So.
Well, very good. Well, this is just the first video we're going to do, but if there's other systems, whether it's in transportation or other departments that you see might need a quick tutorial, just an update from that department, please reach out. Send us an email at professional_development@roundrockisd.org, and we will get with that department and make sure that we get systems running even smoother than they already do. So we know we have some incredible support structures already in place, but we're just trying to get the word out a little bit more. So I want to thank our transportation department for joining us for this training. The video is going to be posted, like I said, at transportation, their website, as well as the professional development website. And I don't see any other questions. And I just want to thank John and Michael for joining us again today. And we're going to go ahead and sign off.
Thanks, Ryan.